You're looking at TPC River Highlands. That is the stage this week that will be hosting the best players in the world for this signature event at the Travelers Championship. And one of those players is sitting beside me, Austin Eckroat, who is now a multiple-time winner on the PGA Tour. It's good to see you, my man. How's life?
It's been great, yeah. Can't complain.
Good.
Getting to do my dream, so it's pretty good.
That's the part I want to start with. Can you believe that I know you had the dream, because I talked to you about it in the past, about winning on the PGA Tour.
Right.
Now you're a multiple-time winner on the PGA Tour. Did it take you any time to kind of process everything that you're accomplishing right now?
Yeah, I mean, especially after the first win in Florida at the Cognizant Classic, it was, I went straight into playing the next week, you know, and you just kind of get in the routine of it. I qualified for the Masters and just, you know, first year of playing all four majors. So I didn't really get to let the first one sink in, but the second one at the end of the season last year was, you know, I had a break after that. And it really got to, the first one was stressful, where the second one was kind of, the first one was more of a relief, and the second one was, you know, just a ton of fun, you know.
I'm curious about that. And you kind of explained it with that, but it's hard to win on the PGA Tour. We've heard it, we know it. Was it harder to win that first time, or was it harder to actually put yourself in a position to win the second time, or were you just flying high on the magic carpet of confidence?
Yeah, I mean, throughout the whole year last year, it was interesting. I think I fell into a trap of, when I won the first time, what I was working on that week worked, so I tried to keep doing it throughout the year, but just that's not golf. You know, you always have to make adjustments, and, you know, I just kept trying to do the same thing, and, you know, I kind of struggled a little bit after that, but then, you know, I knew that I could win out here at that time. And, you know, once I was able to go back to what I normally do and, you know, be constantly making adjustments and improving my game, you know, I think that was towards the end of last season and got another win. So, yeah, I mean, obviously the first one was probably the most difficult one, just because the belief level might not have been there yet.
To that point, are you a player that you're comfortable with pressure? I mean, even going back to your college days, are you comfortable with feeling uncomfortable? Yeah,
I mean, I think that's a big thing, that even going back to Oklahoma State playing golf there, it's that's something that they kind of force into us, be comfortable, you know, being uncomfortable. And that's just something that I mean, that's why we practice, you know, get in those stressful situations and perform. I mean, that's just the best part of it. To that point, to try to get yourself into a stressful situation through practice, can you ever really achieve it? Or when you were on the threshold of breaking through, again, particularly that first time, did you feel things like you've never felt before? Yeah, for sure. But I mean, whenever you come on to the PGA Tour, like when I look back to my first year playing on sponsor exemptions and battling a cut line, it's stressful. It's a similar situation to where, you know, you're just trying to perform your best in a stressful situation. That's kind of, I mean, you can draw on a lot of past experiences, whether it's winning at junior levels or college levels, or, you know, trying to make a cut on the PGA Tour when you're 22 years old, fresh out of college. So there's a lot of moments I think, you know, I could draw back to on that. Where did you draw from to find your rock, to find your stability after breaking through on the PGA Tour as a young guy, so that you had some semblance of, I guess, call it normalcy in your life? Yeah, so I got married young. I mean, my wife, Sally, we got married at 23. It's been great. She travels with me most of the time. And I'm really close to my family. My whole team's close to me. My caddy's my best friend from high school, and my dad's my swing coach. So it's just, you know, I think I've got a good foundation. I still live in Oklahoma, live 10 minutes from where I grew up, and, you know, I just try to keep it simple outside of the PGA Tour lifestyle. When you're back home, how are the people? Do they kind of leave you to your thing, or did you instantly become like an even bigger celebrity? I think I play the same club I grew up playing, so, you know, I'm close with everybody out there. They're used to seeing you around already? So, yeah, exactly. And then, you know, Victor Hovland's a member out there, and, you know, very cool. I'm just a low-level PGA Tour player. It's incredible, though. I mean, yeah, but I mean, you break through the first time, and for the rest of your life, you're a winner on the PGA Tour. Right. You break through a second time, now that's a validation, and you kind of touched on that all of a sudden you're in the position, you know you can do it. Right. Let me ask you that, just use that phraseology. How much was it a validation to your, like, you know, I've been here, done this, I can do this again? Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, this season hasn't quite gone how I wanted it to, but, you know, I know I can do it. You know, I know the game's there. When I'm playing good, I can compete at the highest level out here, and there's a huge validation to the second win. The first one, obviously, you know, it shows you can win on the PGA Tour. That's special. But the second time, it's like, maybe I can do this a ton of times, and
Yeah, why not
something
think
really
that?
cool. Yeah.
Why not think that? Because
Yeah.
you have to have that mentality. You mentioned your teammates, and with OSU winning, of course, the national championship, the NCAAs again this year, how much fun was that for you? How soon were you able to get in touch with Coach?
Yeah, I was keeping up with Coach throughout the whole week, and I actually got to know the guys really well this season.
Oh, yeah?
Karsten Creek was closed down for renovations, so my home course is 45 minutes from campus, so they'd come down all the time. And I try to stay as connected as I can with being so close. And yeah, just got to know those guys really well. And I mean, I immediately texted Coach after the round, but it's kind of funny. We were at Memorial, and our hotel room didn't have Golf Channel, so we are. Victor and I are watching in my hotel room on my iPad because we tried to go to a restaurant down the street and he was just getting bombarded. So we were just watching on my iPad in the hotel room. It's pretty funny.
It's so cool. So when you get a chance to practice with these college kids,
Yeah.
and I have all due respect to them when I ask you this question, how badly do they want to beat you?
Oh, I mean, I think that's when I play with them. I think that's their sole goal. Even if they're qualifying, I'll join them in qualifying every now and then. And I remember one time they went out to Oak Tree, and it's a hard golf course, and I think a lot of them, it was their first time playing. I think I shot 65 or something like that and just smoked them. And I think for the rest of the year, their whole goal was when we got together was to beat me. But they're good players. I mean, the college kids. I mean, even whenever I was in school and now they just keep getting better, and they hit it so far. There's a couple of guys on the team that are mid 180 ball speeds, and I mean that's long. And obviously. PGA Tour is a different game. You got to hit in the fairway, but very talented group of kids on the team.
What advice would you give to those young golfers? What advice would you give to perhaps young golfers anywhere in terms of breaking through and reaching your goals?
There's tons of things. I think something that they need to understand is whenever they turn professional, it's a new game. It's a new ball game. You travel a lot more. You got to learn time management. I think that's a great thing when it comes to college golf is you start to learn that. I think it'd be really hard. And when I look back at my career, I was a really good junior player, but the idea of me turning pro out of high school, there's no way I could have done it without going to college. Just now, especially with the PGA Tour University program too, as well, because I was the first class of that. It gives you a pathway into tour golf, and it also teaches you how to grow up and learn time management. I think it's just very important.
Very, very cool. Part of that learning process is learning who you want to be associated with.
Right.
You've got some logos on your shirt.
All over.
We always make sure that we ask you guys who your sponsors are. It's our way of saying thank you for taking the time to come to see us, so you can say thank you to the people that help you do your thing. So you want to talk to us about who you're associated with?
Yeah, so probably the longest sponsor that I've had, or I know it is Ping. They've been with me since, I started their junior program when I was 13, I think. So I've been playing 14 clubs of their equipment for the last, 13 years, half my life. Wow, that's pretty crazy. And they've been a great relationship. A lot of family friends now through the company, and with them being associated with Oklahoma State Golf and all sorts of stuff, I've just gotten super close with them over the years, and I think they make great equipment. And next up would be Michael Kors. I've been with them for now 2 years, I think. This will be my third year with them. And they've been a great company. I got to know John Idle really well. He's kind of, big boss, I guess, what you call him there. And actually last year I went and played Shinnecock with them and hung out with them. So I've got to know them really well. And then last year I'd been with them for over a year at this time, but Worldwide Technology, the Cabo event that I won was their event.
Yeah.
So they were the title sponsor. So that was just
amazing.
A really, really cool experience. And another company I've gotten really close with. And Ide Bailey, as well as a accounting firm based out in Denver, I think. But they have a Tulsa firm as well. And, so some local connection there. And I've gotten to do a lot of fun stuff with them as well. But that side of the business I do not understand. So I'm just, but it's been fun. And then I got one on my bag as well. It's Trans Impact. It's a logistics company. So it's really cool the support, that you get throughout the PGA Tour. And, these guys just love golf. And it's just a fun, endeavor for them. But it's meaningful for us. This is, it helps us, especially when you're young, getting these sponsors and, helping, pay for your dream.
Yeah, and he's living his dream every day. As we mentioned, a multiple-time winner on the PGA Tour. Really proud of you. It's
Thank
awesome to see you doing so well. We wish you the very, very best. Thank
so
you
much.
for the time that you gave us
Yeah.
today as well.
Yeah, thanks
We'll
for
be
having me.
back, folks, with more from the Travelers Championship. Stay with us.